Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code with the Italians. You can actually hear me today, I guess, probably.
Hopefully.
Yes, you can hear Ivan. And hi, Chris. Can you hear Chris? Let's see. Say something, Chris.
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes,
Awesome.
they can. Yes, 3 out of 3. What is going to go wrong today? I mean, something has to go wrong. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a Code with Italian stream. So, as you might have figured from the title of the stream, today we are going to be talking about UX and design, and that's why we have our favorite designer here. Hi, Chris. Welcome back. Um, so I'm gonna have to be a bit vague because Ivan is still preparing the screenshots that we need to show later. But the idea is that Ivan has an app that is called 3 Things a Day, right, Ivan?
Yes. It's
Um,
a productivity
Explain.
app. So 3 things a day is okay. I have the screenshot.
You have the screenshot.
Coming.
Well, I just put the link to
Uh,
the Play Store in the
yes,
chat.
thank you for the link to the Play Store. Let me just give you the screenshot for the version that I've been building, because after a few months of the app is on the Play Store, I wanted to redo a bit the UI. So the yeah, sure, the site that it has. Yes, okay. So the first iteration of the app, it's a productivity app. The idea is that you pick the 3 most important things that you want to do today, right? It's like a to-do app, but very minimalistic. Okay, it's just 3 things that you need to do, like, for sure. And at the beginning, the first iteration, I paid a designer on Fiverr, and that's how the project started. So I would, and I think the design that I'm talking about is roughly the one that you see on the Play Store. Roughly, because I had to change it because I wanted a bit more material design. So some things like, the panels and a couple of other things like icons were adapted a bit from the original design. But then I started working. We had Marcel over, and Marcel introduced us to Glance. So the app had also another, let's say, iteration where I added the widget. It was cool. And then a few weeks ago, I wanted to iterate again on the widget. So I started working on the app again, and I also wanted to add more features, like notifications, daily reminders and things like that. And I try to work out a different UI, because now I don't know if, Sebastiano, you are showing the old
Yes.
UI. So the old UI, it's very minimal. It's just like one screen. So if you go to the next screenshot on the Play Store, you will see that if you tap the add task, you get a sheet that comes up, and you basically type what you want to do, and you get it in the UI. It's like one screen. It was one of the first app that I did in Compose. It was very, very, very simple, and that was it, right? That was the project. Now the new iteration came with, okay, I want to add a backlog, I want to add sort of history screen, I want to add reminders. So I'm gonna need probably like a setting screen. If I need a setting screen, I need a way to go to the set screen. And so you start thinking about, okay, do I put a top bar? Do I need a navigation drawer? Do I need some action icons in the top bar? And that's why the new design started to, get a bit more complicated. And Sebastiano has a screenshot for the current version that I have. You can see there are ads at the bottom, so I can't use the bottom navigation. So I went for let's put a couple of icons in the top bar. Everything is pretty much the like the bare material design slash. I mean, I'm doing it in Compose, so pretty straightforward. But then, okay, I was like, okay, the idea is there. Icons are nice. Maybe the theming, I need to iterate again on the snack bar because the colors are off. But the thing that annoyed me the most was the typography, especially the title, right? So the question that I asked Sebastiano a few weeks ago was, why this thing feels wrong? So there is something subconscious. I mean, it's subconscious at some level because I can't describe why. Otherwise, I would probably be able to fix it, right? Because I can do typography, material, theme, dot typography, title 2, title 1. No, this looks better. This looks better, right? Like when you go to the, I don't know, you go to the eye doctor that they check for the
Number 1, number 2.
better now, is better now, is it better? Is better? Have you had that experience? Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I was something was off, but I don't know what it is because I'm missing the knowledge about this kind of science, I would call it. And Sebastiano actually gave me a choice. Do you want the answer now, or do we want to invite Chris over and you get a proper answer that from an expert live on Twitch? And I was like, no, I want Chris. I want Chris because I already knew your answer. You will be, because you don't know how this thing works. This sucks. So,
no, my answer would have been to send you the link to the session we did on typography with Liam.
Yeah. yes. You know, the brutal reality of read the fucking manual. But yeah, so that was the origin story of my struggle with this screen. And yeah, and I have been waiting to actually iterate again on the screen and waiting for the episode. So this is it. This is the current state.
I was debating with myself whether I should start by pointing out a thing that has nothing to do with what you were asking about. But I decided not to.
Which one? Come on, give me a
nope. You need to do. You haven't done the even thing yet. Give me the even thing, and I'll give you a question.
Fair enough. The even thing. So I want to welcome all of you to another episode. I want to remember you that you can support us in a multitude of ways. We have a new store where you can buy everything. I mean, we released new designs on a multitude of products. We don't have t-shirts, only t-shirts anymore. We have mugs, we have dogs bandanas. I mean, who does that? We have clothes for babies, for like bottles, whatever. There is everything. You can have it with our Angry Pizza logo, but there is also a lot of nice stuff that Sebastiano designed with some cool icons.
The icons I didn't design. I just took the icons from Studio.
Yeah.
But I want to say I am particularly proud that we have a design that is called Need for Speed and has all the icons that come from the profiler.
Yes, that's clever. So just give it a try if you want to buy things like the keychain or the stickers. Head on our coffee page where you can also become a subscriber if you want. If you want to support us on Twitch for free, you can connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and a new label, a new switch will appear on our page on Twitch, and you can subscribe for free using Amazon Prime. So thank you for the support. So no, don't JPEG.
It's just Mark saying that he's gonna have to troll us a lot.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, thanks for the support, and yeah, stay with us. Now, can I have
Yes.
the
So my question is, well, it's not really a question. It's more like a, you're not supposed to do this, right?
Please expand.
So on snack bars, first of all, these are, and Chris, please correct me if I'm wrong, because you know this stuff better than I do. But this is a transient component. So snack bar is supposed to come up and then go away. It's not supposed to stay there indefinitely. And
Yeah.
also, they're like, I don't think that, generally speaking, at least I don't particularly like it myself, having random actions on a snack bar. Like in this case, I guess this one brings you to another screen to do other stuff. I
think it's just it's advertising the widget, so I think it just closes the app and brings you to the launcher.
Mike
so
is saying it doesn't like the ads.
Yeah, Mark, I need to pay rent, so shut up.
So yeah, generally what you would have in a snack bar is an action that is contextual to the screen you're in, and the snack bar generally is used as a confirmation or a way to show an error for an action that the user has actively taken.
Okay.
So if you want to promote the widget, that's great, but I would use a different kind of component. I would put it, because the snack bar is somewhat outside of the layout of the page. I would prefer using something in the layout of the page. Chris, again, I don't know what you're thinking, but
please don't say what you're thinking, Chris.
Be polite.
No,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Seb's right that like snack bars also are usually used in response to some action from the user, like a confirmation. So in this case, I guess this is more of like a hint to be like, hey, you should add this to your home screen. And so I think like maybe some little, it's a similar pattern, but it's not the snack bar. It's like you just kind of show this little, it's almost like an ad in a way, but you show it like it's a temporary thing you could show at the top of the list, and then the user can like close it. But it's kind of one of those like tips of like, hey, do you want to do this? And you can, you could
because
make it like a slightly different color, and make it dismissible.
Yeah,
like
you would have it like
top
up here, just pushing everything else down.
So move the content down a bit and then...
Yeah, you would have like a small box here. Generally, I've seen it done with like the lighter color, like the secondary or tertiary container color. That is generally a lighter shade of the main color.
Okay.
And
like
then
below
it would have
the title. Below the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can either put it in between the call to action and the tasks, or in this case, maybe better at the top, like the very top of everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think,
yeah.
Well, to make it, I guess if you wanted to make it more complex, it feels like, I guess I would think about when you want to show that, like, does it make sense to show it the very first time you install the app, or does it make sense to use it maybe like after, a couple sessions of the person using it?
So that's something that I want to A/B test. So the idea it was just after I analyzed the data, I actually realized that I also got a feedback from a user that nobody was using the widget. So there was a complete lack of awareness and like discoverability was zero. And it was just a shame because one of the things that I like about the app is the fact that you have a widget, right? So you don't have to open the app to check for
is it a glance widget? I think it is, right?
Yeah, it's a glance widget because I built it
Nice.
after we had Marcel, and it was actually a shame because I was like, "Wow, come on, man! The widget is the cool part here, right?" So the idea that we have a widget, but the discoverability was completely zero, and I was like, "Okay, people are using the app because there are a few users. I mean, it's a tiny app, so I don't expect to have a lot of users, but there are few people in my circle of friends, for instance, they use the app, but again, how can I tell them that there is a widget? Because maybe they can use the widget, but they don't know anything about the widget. And being a savage, the first thing that I thought it was, okay, let's put a snack bar there. But again, I would like to maybe A/B test, different designs and different to understand which one converts better, right? The usual A/B testing. So what if I put it here? Because at the moment it's just appearing on the first start. So pretty straightforward. Every time that the user installs the app, they see the snack bar. But then, a lot of questions started to pop up like, okay, what if they get annoyed, they just close the snack bar, they don't pay attention to the snack bar, I don't know what to do. How can I iterate again the advertisement for the widget? I also ended up asking to the glance team, how do I know if they place the widget, so if they remove the widget? Because I started to think, okay, let's track how people install the widget, if they install the widget. So if I know if they install the widget, I know that they don't have the widget, right? So if I keep track of they place the widget on the home, maybe after a week, if I don't see anything, I can tell them, oh, did you know that there is a widget? That's the UX that I'm also looking for. Like, how do I advertise without being annoying or without being out of place? And I'm just giving time to Sebastiano to finish the design in Figma.
It's
So
fine.
just buying
It's
time.
fine.
Just buying time. But I'll take the first suggestion to get rid of the snack bar and try to embed maybe like a colored box in the UI.
Yeah, I was looking if I can get stuff in, because the idea is, I think that I can. I just need to open it once. Then it's something that we can like play around with as we go ahead and prototype stuff as we're talking about these things.
Okay. Yes. I'm reading Mark's suggestion that I didn't think about that, right? I wouldn't show the call to action to the widget before the user has set up at least one task. This is the kind of things that
I would even personally suggest that I wouldn't show the call to action until the user has used the apps, as Chris was saying, for a few days, and they're coming back to tick off a task. So when they open the app the second time of the day and they want to tick off a task, when they do that, you can pop up a thing saying, hey, it would be faster to do it from the home screen.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be, because I want people to come to the app because there are ads. That's also a caveat.
Then
So
why
for
do you have a
instance,
widget?
the widget is to keep track of the tasks. So when you want to tick off the task, you actually click on the widget and you end up in the app, and then you see the tick. But it's important that they come back. It's important that the user comes back to the app, because because there is a business requirement and Ivan has a mortgage. So that's the thing. No,
Yeah.
but I'm
No.
okay.
Makes sense.
So jokes aside, these are projects that I build to prove that, you know, some business model can work with some kind of apps. I mean, the moment I see people complaining about ads, then maybe it's a good time to introduce a subscription, right?
Mhm.
So that's another experiment that you can run. But ads right now are very, very easy to integrate for me. Praise the ad with a picture of Spike. You know what? You are two rich people. You are some spoiled rich people, and you
You
don't.
have a link to this Figma file, Seth?
I can share it with you.
Okay.
Just give me a sec.
I'll
So I
collaborate.
don't share your email with the entire world.
My super secret email that I have everywhere on the internet.
Is it this one?
Yes.
No, it's just csinco.design@gmail.com.
Okay. I tried.
To answer the concerns about Spike that people in the chat have, I'm gonna rearrange the furniture in my studio to allow the
More dogs.
couch. Yes. So Spike is gonna come back in a few weeks because I'm rearranging the whole home office to push the desktop to the one side so I can get the couch on the back like it was in the old days, so we can have the dog again. Thank you everybody for your patience. And no, I didn't sell the dog. That's fine. But again, Chris, just to come back to the typography part, the thing that for me feels weird, for instance, is that title. The title is super weird for me. And you know, from a code point of view, it's just some text with a style that is like title one. You know, the material, the classic material one. But something is off, right? Maybe the color. I don't know if the font. I think the font is just the standard font. I didn't change anything. But again, it doesn't feel. It feels weird. But I don't know. Even for instance, the one in the top bar, right? So that's just a title, but it feels weird. Well, I mean, forget about the D because it's just a debug build. So that's just for me to know.
For the even?
No, for yes, for the so. But again, these are the things that are a real struggle for me. So I can build things, but then they don't feel I don't know, like it's more like an emotion. I don't know how to express the.
Right. Yes. Thank you, Chris. Easier to show that way.
So what should I build?
We cannot hear
the
you.
note at the top. Me?
No, Chris.
Oh, sorry. There's another. I will get to Ivan's question, but I was
Yeah.
just
Don't worry. Try just to.
Google Photos is not cooperating with backup right now. Backup.
And you know, these are the things that we
confusing.
can also bring to the talk, because we are preparing a talk about these apps that we are building lately, and we don't have a designer in the team. We have
A complainer.
somebody. Yes, we have somebody that is external, that is just complaining about.
I wonder who that person is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not working on foldable, and this thing is not optimized. It doesn't look good on my phone, and so it's a very precise complainer.
Do you mean
Do I know this
They,
person?
annoying or?
no, very precise, very precise. It's a it's an external entity that is just gonna bash on my design skills. But yeah, a bug icon. Okay, fair enough. I can replace it with an emoji. I'm a huge fan of emoji.
But to get back to the what's the weird sound, the font. Yeah, I think it's. I was actually looking around on Google Fonts. It's kind of a tough thing because what I end up doing when I pick a font, and some of this is I actually just looked at the material guidance. They have some pretty. They have more details on like how to think about picking a font. They have like some guidelines or things to think about, but it's still. I think one of the things that first comes to mind with an app like this or any app is that thinking about what the tone of the app is or what kind of app it is, and then trying to pick a font that matches that tone. The tone meaning like, is it a serious app? Is it playful? Is it um, dark or is it bright? Like those kinds of attributes. The problem though is if you're browsing Google Fonts, there's no way to kind of like specify that right now of like, oh, I'm because I think those aspects don't always map well to like the technical categorization of fonts. Because fonts are usually like, oh, sans serif, or they're for display, or they're there for handwriting. But I think they don't often map to like, if you tried, I think you can Google like playful fonts and you'll probably get some blog articles and stuff. But it would be nice, like in these large font repositories like Google Fonts, where, you know, if you could say something like, I need a playful font, it could actually just show you all of those things.
That would be awesome because it would be something similar, for instance, to when we so we built bedtime stories app, and those are more like it's a book, right? It's kind of a book. So and then this external complainer that we have in the team suggested us.
Professional complainer. I think
Yes,
that's how they like to
suggest
be referred to.
suggested us you should look for a font that it's more like printed, right? Something that reminds you to about books and things like, because there are differences, right? So if you are, so I completely love the idea that you suggest is like, okay, this is the type of app that I'm doing. What font could I use? I mean, if only we had AI to do this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if only, but it would be
Yeah. No,
super useful.
yeah. No, I agree because I think, and saying that, I think it's maybe we're not as far away as it seems, but yeah, because to that point, like the New York Times is a good example. It's like they have this very classic serif font, uh, but it's because their roots were that they were like a newspaper, and a lot of newspapers like that's the serif font was very popular for newspapers. And definitely feels more like I guess for people who remember newspapers, which isn't the younger generation. It's it's like it's a font that comes from like this pre-digital age, or that font style, I guess. You see a lot more serif usage in print than you do in digital, because digital we tried to move to sans serif and legibility and stuff, um and I think serif actually, because of anti-aliasing and like the ability for displays to actually display like crisp fonts. I think serif was hard in the beginning because the pixel density and the power of the technology in the displays was not good enough to show text that well or render text that well. So in some sense, I think like we've skewed towards sans serif for so long because like that's what rendered best in the past. But I think now that we have much more modern displays and they can like do really fine-grained pixel rendering and anti-aliasing, I think that's why we see a lot more serif fonts kind of making a comeback because you can actually like see these fonts a lot clearer now. But yeah, I think for this app, it's like a task app. I mean, I think I've been browsing some stuff here on Google Fonts, but it's all just like going through it with my eyes. it's like oh, this one looks cute. I guess that's I don't know if this is how you would classify what your app is, but like when I look at your app, I think it's like there's something playful about it. Like maybe it's the colors you picked, like this kind of like more baby blue and orange, but it's like there is this I'd say like cuteness factor to it that is different from some to-do apps or task apps are like very serious, and this one seems like this is simple and like trying to be, I think, simple and more approachable to people. I don't know if that's the vibe you're going for, but
the vibe is there because I didn't want to go like productivity app and then you to do things and then you go boom boom boom. It's more like, okay, I want to do 3 things, okay, because I'm a millennial and three is the top top stuff. The three as many as possible, 3. And so that's actually there is also reasoning behind, because there is a bit of science behind the 3 most important things. But again, I didn't want to be too serious, right? Because the 3 things could be just call mom and drink water and just go to the post office. So they can be 3 things that you want to do, and the checking the checkbox is going to give you a bit of dopamine. It's a bit of happiness that you get it for free. So it is playful. So I definitely see the idea.
Yeah, and I think like Material has a good hierarchy when it comes to typographies. I think though what isn't always apparent with Material typography, at least when you're looking at the code, is that depending on which type style you're using, like whether it's a title, display, or it's like body text, can you use 2 different fonts? And I think by default, Material only just uses Roboto. And I think like usually when I work with this stuff, like I try to, depending on the context, but like I think in this context, you could definitely get away with like the text which says what are the 3 most important things. That could be more of a title font that is something more playful, like the ones I put in the Figma file. But then the add task one tends to be like the core UI text. And so that can be probably something, I don't know if I would still stick with Roboto, but that would be maybe something more like utilitarian, like a sans serif font.
Okay.
Yeah, type is it's unfortunately not quite objective or scientific. it's a lot of like trial and error and like seeing how you feel, and then yeah, it takes a while.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Sebastian, where are you?
Here. Hello. No, I just managed to do something.
And now, I should know this, but like, man, a Google Fonts plugin would be pretty nice to have in Figma.
It
I think
would.
you can actually, I think you can use Google Fonts directly, but you can't really browse it. Like, and that would be kind of a cool experience, kind of like the little panel you have with the theme builder. It'd be nice to just have some screen you're looking at and then like being able to quickly cycle through fonts just to to like see what it feels like. And I think that process is kind of slow if you have to like keep 2 tabs open.
But
can
I don't even
you
know how
can
you choose the fonts, to be honest, beyond the basic.
Well, in this case, you're using a style because
Yeah.
it's a material component, so you have to break the style to like change the font.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. I think this actually ends up using things on Google Fonts, but like I said, it's like you kind of have to you can't like browse these fonts the same way you can browse it on Google Fonts.
Yeah.
In this case, it's designed to be like, you know what font you're going to pick, so you just go straight to it. Are the fonts that I pasted in there even available in this dropdown?
Cadson.
Let's see. Ah,
Item.
focus. Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
There you go. Well,
But then again, I guess can I do it without breaking the link, or do I? Because I would need to set up
when
a
it
new.
comes to the card, well, it looks like you already broke it, so.
I mean, I can undo it. There you go.
Why I'm not surprised that you broke something. Like the first
What do
time.
they say? You detached something.
I reattached it.
Yeah.
So how would you go and changing the default font for the? I'm sorry, now it's become a Seb doesn't know how to do things in Figma.
No, I think for this exercise it's fine to like break everything because
Okay,
um
YOLO.
Break everything, Sebastian.
I can do that. I was trying to redo the breakage, but it didn't seem like it wanted to. So, and this one as well.
yeah. Well, yeah. So I was saying I think the fonts I pasted in there would be more for his little title in the middle. I don't know if I would use the same font for the little banner.
So you're talking about this one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The one that I think that like we're trying to draw attention to. Although I think I'm curious about the title, the action bar at the top. Is that kind of like a navigation mechanism too?
Yes, it's actually, you have a couple of action icons. One takes you to the backlog screen, and the second one takes you to the setting screens. Basically, I didn't want to add the drawer just for 2 elements, and I thought that maybe I can pull it off just with a couple of icons in the action bar. I mean, it's a bit, it's probably not appropriate to do a lot of navigation from there. But again, I have the constraint that I cannot have the bottom bar. And the drawer felt a bit like too much, to just build a drawer to have two elements. They're going to be 3 because now you have also home there. So maybe it's not too bad.
And so you have 2 actions. You have this list one that I can't discern what it will be in settings.
So yes, so the list one is the backlog screen. So the idea of the backlog screen is that you go there and you just dump tasks that you want to do, right? And then when the reminder pops up at let's say 10 in the evening, you go to the backlog and you promote 3 items, 1 item or 2 items. You promote them to the next day most important things, right? So you have it's a backlog. It's basically a backlog.
Yeah.
And the way you can imagine it, I think you can probably can send you. Well, the screenshot just crashed, so the abstract. But the fancy design that I have for the backlog screen is just backlog in the title, and is just Sebastiano. Can you? No, you are not running the app, but you can check how the item looks when you actually add a task. It's on the Play Store. So I was trying to reuse, this kind of, because I have the component that it's editable, that idea. So there is a fab bottom right. There is a fab button. Clicks, and then you can add the task. I'm reusing the bottom sheet that I have on the home page, and it looks like a longer home screen. Basically.
What I was thinking about is, what if we, instead of like this, we find a way to have like a save for later sort of thing. Like when you put things in your shopping cart, that you're not meaning to buy immediately, but you're putting them there because at some point you're gonna get to them. And there's the save for later button on Amazon, for example. So something along those lines. And then the question is, when you start typing today's tasks, does it autocomplete with the tasks you have in the backlog?
No, because at the moment is just they are not connected. So the backlog is just putting things in a database, and then the idea is that you can mark it as I want to do this tomorrow, and then the homepage is reading, do I have things that I want to do today, right? So I'm using the database as source of truth, but they are not talking to each other. It's more like so the only call for action that you can do from the main screen, the today's task, are you click on the add task and you type something, and you can edit something, and you can toggle the check. So that's how the app works. Now I'm building the backlog, and I didn't go that far. So the backlog is just you can add things to the backlog, and then you can promote them to basically the main screen today. That is basically tomorrow. So that's also something that I need to clarify how to do, because how the UI changes. When you want, let's say you want to promote 3 tasks, but you already have the today's tasks, what do you do, right? You kind of say, okay, this and this, and then when do they become the today's task? At midnight, tomorrow when you open the app. There are a lot of intricacy that I haven't decided yet, apart from the UI.
So
UX is not trivial, as you can imagine.
I guess, like, going back to what Chris was asking earlier about the tone of voice, this is more of a playful, personal thing that it doesn't need to be, too strict about stuff.
No.
So maybe you can make things a bit more playful. I'm gonna use the S word, and the S word is, you can use shaders. I was waiting for you to start drinking.
Okay. Shaders. I mean,
No, so jokes aside, what I was thinking,
animation that I have is a bouncing emoji.
what I was thinking about is that you probably want to make the app very friendly. And what I was thinking about is you can probably just get rid of the app bar entirely. And you can have, like, this could be your title. Like, you don't have a actual app bar because you don't need it. Like, it doesn't have to be there. You can also not have one.
The current version doesn't have it. The new version has it because I needed the icons to go to the settings screen. That's
yes. But what I'm suggesting is that you might do them like you might like I don't know. I feel like in this kind of you're going for a very minimalistic approach, and up bar is too much, and it would be too much to have the like a very structured navigation as well, because at the end of the day it's still going to be the one screen mostly that people are going to use.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think how you could do something
okay. So
slightly
let's
different.
say you don't do add task, and add tasks. You just put fab at the bottom, and you can keep clicking the fab. So the first 3 tasks go to the today task. If you click the 4th time, that goes to the backlog. It could be something like that. But then how you manage the backlog? So you still need a screen with a read list, right? So you need you still need the icon at the top, or a navigation drawer, or something. I don't know. You check your phone and go to backlog. I have no idea how to. There are no. I don't see so many opportunity for navigation, especially if I killed the bottom nav. So
what I'm saying is that you might just have something that looks I need to borrow. Okay, let me do something that I'm not sure I'm gonna love, but I'm gonna try. Which is this, and send to back, and this one.
I picked a nice UI text font for you. Quicksand.
Nice. Oh, I like Quicksand. It's nice. But I think we can even consider whether we want to have the one highlight item that is not in it's in a like a title font that is not like main text, but it's just title. And what you could do is this one is, instead of making it like this, we can make it a gradient.
Gradient.
Like
okay.
Yeah, I know it's not very material, but I think it would work in this case.
Okay. I mean, as long as there is a background vertical gradient in Compose, because I don't want to go back to the.
You can use a gradient brush, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a shader. Well,
no, that's a
I mean, it is a shader, but you don't see it.
If you want, I think though, there was some article, was it a while ago, where it's like, maybe it was a Carol who showed that you can make even better gradients using shaders.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or maybe it was, but for whatever reason, oh, that's nice. It's like a sky.
Yeah, exactly. I feel it's like, it's a bit more relaxing maybe than it would otherwise be.
Okay, so something that I want to mention, because you say sky, Sebastian is going in that direction. For some reason, Sebastiano, this is going to be surprising for you. The animation that you get when you completed all the 3 tasks at the end of the day, if you toggle the 3, is just a bouncing sun that smiles. So you see, you were on the that's the vibe. I think the app is giving you the right vibe.
Yeah, because it's something that is not supposed to make you too anxious, right?
Absolutely not. As I said, it's just the 3 most important things that you want to do, but it could be just like drink drink water or just
Drink
I don't know,
500
meditate.
beers.
Yeah, that's yes.
All in a day's work.
You can definitely try.
Okie
But
doke. Okay, lock.
so what are we doing?
Lock.
Where are we dropping the orange, just like yellowish?
I mean, you can have it. You can also not have it. It's Chris. I'm just gonna pop the widget thing up there for a sec. Whoop. Here you go. Move this one down here.
Yes, pretty sure that you will need a bit of water the next day.
Yeah, one thing we could do too is like just make some interesting shapes like that.
But oh, nice.
That's easy to do with material as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, yeah, it's I mean, just a corner, right?
Yep.
Kinda. How do I do that? It's a corner radius.
You use a shape and then you set
Oh.
the rounded corners and just put the top left and bottom right.
Yeah,
ones.
that's it. I mean, it's as simple as it looks. Just 2
Yeah.
out of 4 they are rounded, and you get the leafy, the leafy idea.
Yeah. And the dotted line one, I mean,
The dotted line
more-
was not easy to do. I mean, I did it in Compose, but I remember that it was not. Oh yeah, make it dot. I can't remember the. Oh, Sebastian, I think you forgot the X.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah. The dotted line is you have to draw your own path, and then it's like I did it before though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can remember dot.
It's like how you draw the stroke. Yeah.
Yeah, a border.
And you can even animate it if you want.
Animated. Wait, please
Bam, bam, bam.
tell me more. Dash, dash, dash.
I have to go. Well, I have to. There's some tweet I did a couple of years ago now that showed this dotted line thing. That
Oh yeah, okay.
Anyway,
There is
you
a dash
you can definitely animate it.
border. So I'm using a modifier that is called dashed border. But I built it. Okay, dashed border.
Yeah, it looks a bit glitchy in the screenshots, but I think it's just a matter of using a custom stroke where you set it to
On draw
to
with
dash.
content. I'm pretty sure that I copy pasted from somewhere because I will never be able to to do this by myself. Definitely.
Actually,
So if you
yeah,
have a better solution, please tell, because the one that I have is homemade and I probably could use an improvement.
This is the snippet I had. I put the snippet in the over here. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, that one.
It's a path effect.
Yes.
But that's used in context of the canvas. So, I think Ivan is muted.
Yes, no, I was actually just saying that the one that I have is like 300 lines. So I'm probably gonna look to replace it with yours.
300 lines.
I'm telling you, this thing is
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I can copy. I can. Yeah, it's like it's no, but it's 300 lines, but there is also a bit of KDocs. Yeah, let's say 250.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, this is the full composable. So, but basically, I'm just drawing. This is a heart, but you're just drawing this outline with canvas, and then you're changing the stroke of the path. And like, because it's a composable, if you pass in a dash array, you can like change that and it'll recompose and animate. So
Oh, nice.
But
yeah, but I think there is a way to basically use this path on an outline for in a modifier.
Yeah, I think if you have
Yeah.
the border modifier will take in a stroke.
Yeah.
So that's all you need, a stroke and a shape.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's more complicated because I was drawing a specific shape, which was a heart.
Yeah.
There'd probably be only 2 lines of path code if it was a rectangle. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thanks.
But yes, I was gonna say like the dotted line could work, but I was also thinking you could make it a slightly different color and then put an icon in it, just like a plus button in front of it.
Yeah.
And that might work fine too.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I'm not attached, emotionally attached to the dotted line. So if we want to try something else, I'm open to suggestion. I like the fact that I bring a concern to Sebastiano for one of my apps, and we ended up butchering the current design and coming out with a better design that's fancier, and now I have to implement it. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I guess. You're welcome, I guess. Yes. But this is nice. How would you do the non-dotted one? So what would you do? Like a lighter blue with a plus icon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
With the same leafy shape? Or will it be like a full rounded to make it a bit different?
I mean, you could play with it. My first thought would just be to keep the shapes consistent.
Okay.
Chris, the one thing I think is missing here is the action to make this done.
Yeah, you could add that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted to like left align the task, so yeah.
I don't know if you want to make we could try like making it clickable, and you just tap the whole card to make it, instead of putting the checkbox, for instance.
Make it done and undone by just tapping it. I guess that works. The only thing you might need to do is you might have like a small edit thing up here in the corner, because you might have a typo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because now when the whole card is tappable, and if you tap it, you edit basically. Because there is a checkbox to check it, mark it as done.
Yeah, I think you could have an area on the card that is for checking it on and off, and then if you tap the bigger part, it takes you to edit it. Although, is the editing done in a dialogue or another page?
It's done in place.
Bottom sheet.
I don't know if it's done in place. Basically, the card turns into a text field. Yeah.
I see.
And when basically loses the focus, you just save it.
Okay. You might have some challenges with the IMEI on the third task, depending on the size of the height of the screen. So I guess you just have to bump it up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the current version is, the keyboard pushes everything above, so kind of works.
That's good.
The mortgage, bravo.
Well, I also wonder, I mean, I'm just talking about ideas, but if you're editing it, I wonder if you should kind of like spotlight it a bit. So like, make the other parts of the UI seem like they fade into the background, and then this one's just the thing you focus on. Because I
like a
guess
blur
actually that's the
effect.
question is like, if you are editing it, you know, how interactive is the rest of the UI? Like, can you still scroll, or like, is it like all focus for the finger is in the text field?
Well, right now is I mean, if you edit, and you can basically type, right? You can type, you can hit enter, or you can hit back. As soon as the text field loses the focus, you just save to the DB, and the UI goes back to the read-only state, basically. And I think it's because of the way I observe the DB. So when you have an update in the DB, then it fires, and then the UI refreshes in a composy way because I get a new state.
Yeah. The thing I was gonna say 15 minutes ago was the action bar thing. So like switching between the backlog and this view. I think you said you didn't want a bottom nav, but I think I don't love that top bar either, or at least the way it looks right now. And so, yeah, is there somewhere else you could put that action to toggle to the backlog? Or my suggestion would be like, if you do keep this action bar, that's all I just keep calling top app bar at the top. It might, well, I don't know, like now that Seb has this nice gradient, you could like you could just not have a background on it and then just have it be at the top as a stable navigation element.
But I mean, now that we have the gradient, Sebastiano, do you mind putting bottom nav below the ad or above the ad? I don't remember what's the guideline, to be honest. I can check the other apps. We don't have it here. And we don't, do we have it here? No, we don't have it here.
Let me
To be
check.
honest, I don't know what are the guidelines for ads.
Oh, you can
Because
swap them.
yeah, but it has to be, it's tricky because if the clickable area of the bottom nav is too close to the ads, they are gonna penalize me because you can have a lot of misclicks.
Yes.
And that's why I always steer away from a bottom nav and a banner at the bottom. But again, I need some way to navigate. And now that there is no top bar there, it's a bit weird when if you want to put icons there, kind of weird because now it looks cool with the gradient and the title. But then
well, I think, I mean, you have that label today's tasks. I don't know if you want to carry that over. You do, right?
Excuse me?
The text you have says today's tasks in your first screenshot.
Well, yeah, I mean, but again, if there is a very visible title, I don't know if we want to keep it because it will erode screen state and more, right? Because now you also have a bottom nav, so the screen is getting smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess my suggestion is like you could have like it could just be two views, like today and backlog. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
The other way is like if you don't want a bottom nav, you could experiment with like maybe it's at the bottom of the list or at the top of the list that has like another action that takes you to the backlog. But it just feels like it's part of the content. That's why I asked the today's tasks thing, because it's like it says today's task, but then there's like some natural way to like, if you get to the end of the list to do like see all tasks or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what would you do? Replace today's task with see all tasks label that you can just click and go somewhere else?
Yeah, it could be at the bottom of the list, or yeah, that if you're not using a bottom nav.
Okay, I'm biting, but now how do we go to settings? Because that's the only the last part that I
honestly, I think
Yeah.
the settings button could still be here.
can be there,
Yeah,
right?
it could just be up there, yeah. Yeah. And even if you're on back, well, assuming, yeah, because the back, it could just be there on the, we'll call this the home page or the home page. And then if you go to the backlog, maybe you don't see it, but that's fine. You can, it's just like, it's always on this page. I think actually Spotify does this, where the settings is only on the main screen.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
well, that will make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're on the backlog or on the settings screen, you probably just want the back arrow at the top left, so I wouldn't put anything else there. Scaffold, Sebastiano, the question that I had today, right? How do I do that? Do I do one scaffold for the entire app, or every screen has a scaffold? That's the unclear question. Well, the question is clear. It's the unclear solution. The answer is unclear.
Yeah. The other thing that came to mind with more because it was on the top was that it reminded me a bit of like Google Calendar, where you can switch between a day view and a 3-day view and a week view. And so I think if it were still in the top app bar, then like using that to kind of switch between the views would work. But I was like, you could also, I mean, I don't think it would totally kill it if it was in the list itself, but these are just ideas to play with.
Yeah, I think that Sebastiano has a placeholder there, but if you actually put view all or all tasks or future tasks, it could be like tomorrow's task or whatever, right? Future tasks, that will be good because it's there and it's on the right thumb, right? It's there. It's very close to how you would hold the phone, so it's not weird that I need to go too far to actually access it. Because if you're thinking about having it in one hand, you can go there, you can click, go there, you swipe, you go back. It's pretty handy also from a navigation point of view. So I like it.
Yeah.
Stiano, are you struggling with icons? What's going on, my friend?
No, I'm adding more icons.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic.
You don't sound too convinced, but
No, because the settings, that's something that I don't know. So how do you do with this with Figma? Do you have like a library, or you need to import the icons from another website? When you use the material plugin, can you access the material icons right away, like you will do in Compose?
I think so. Well, actually, I don't think you can, because I don't know if the material team publishes the icons as a Figma file. Because I've run into this issue before, like at work. And so I think what you end up doing is you go to the material symbols website and then downloading the SVGs and then dragging them in there. There are people out there that have created like material symbols files in the community, but they're not, I don't know if they're maintained by the material design team. I think it's third party. So yeah, you end up having to do what Seb is doing.
Fair enough.
It is a bit annoying, but
yeah. Well, yeah. One thing I did build, this was more for internal purposes, is that we have a IntelliJ icons plugin. Because there is a website you can go look at all the IntelliJ icons, but like I built a Figma plugin that basically is just an iframe, and it loads in a little panel, and then you can just like drag and drop icons directly to the canvas.
Nice.
Just because for our job that was just way faster. So I think Material had a plugin like that in Material 2, but it was in Sketch. I don't know if they ever ended up building one for Figma.
Wow, Sketch. I remember Sketch.
Yeah.
To answer Mark's question, do the ads have to be positioned at the bottom? The answer is, you don't have many well options. Either you put a static banner at the bottom, or you put, if you have a feed, you can use a native ad in a feed, like social network do. You can do interstitials, so every now and then something pops into your face. And what else you can do? You can do an app open ads. That is also an option. You can just show an ad even before your app starts. It's a bit dangerous from an annoyance point of view. And what else? Yeah, these are the usual things that you can do. So the ad at the bottom is the simplest possible solution to have ads. You just drop how big is it? Like 60 dps, and then you forget about it, and it does its thing. So usually I use a scaffold, and I place the banner in the bottom bar, so it's always there on every screen, things like that. I mean, it's not trivial. Adding ads is not trivial because there is a lot of privacy and consent involved, because you need to do things properly. So it's a conscious choice. It's not one of those things, oh yeah, let's add ads, and we are done with it. It takes a moment, because you have to play around with privacy, and that's never trivial. But again, if you are lucky and you end up doing a popular app, well, it could be interesting. And just to give you like a sneak peek into the future, having ads in your app will allow you. So having ads in my app is not gonna pay the mortgage, but it's gonna allow me to introduce things that have a cost. So, for instance, I can introduce authentication and cloud storage. So you can have your backlog and your history backup onto Firebase. And Firebase, you have to pay for it if your app becomes popular. So, you just try to build a tiny budget ahead of time. And if your app becomes popular, you won't have the struggle of, okay, now I have a popular app and Firebase is gonna ask for money, and now I need to kill the project because I'm not making any money with the app, but Firebase is gonna ask. They want their money, right? And at this point, you have a nice project. Maybe you invested time and you are proud of your project, and you have to kill it because it's not financially sustainable, because you didn't think ahead of time for a business model. So the easy way that you can do, the easiest thing that you can do is just put some banner there, and if the project takes a bit of momentum, you can think about, okay, let's switch to subscriptions because now I have people that want to pay for my app. So are the limitation imposed by Play Store or the ads provider? You mean the limitation for the positioning? It's more like the way you use any type of ads. So they suggest you, for instance, if you have a feed, you should put native ads in the feed. Or if you have something like this, they advise you to just put a banner at the bottom. You can even put it at the top, but at the top is even worse from a UI point of view. The fact that now we have navigation with a swipe from the right, for instance, and you don't have to go at the bottom of the screen to navigate back. It also made the banner at the bottom easier to cope with. Like, I never go there. The app is all in the top layer on my phone. I navigate from the side. The banner is there because they want to make some bugs too. So I don't stress over it anymore. It's just a safety net if you get popular and you have expenses. So Sebastiano.
Yes, that's my name.
So what's the snooze icon doing?
It's for the like tasks for later.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm playing with the idea of that being like a snooze action.
Uh-huh.
So that would be, I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see how that looks in practical terms.
Go for it.
So here you would have
But
this.
how do you imagine it? Like a button or just the icon that is clickable? The whole label is clickable?
Something like this.
I'm asking because I need to build this. So
that's not my problem.
yeah, that's the idea. It's not in the Jira ticket, so I'm not gonna build it.
Yes. So just give me 1 second.
Yeah, I see, Mark. But believe me, on tablet, the ad looks gargantuan. It's like the thing is just like it's like 1 inch tall. And when you have it at the top of the screen, your brain, you only see the ads at some point. You just, because it's there, right? So, and it's a weird feeling. And I have a bit of experience with that kind of stuff, and I experiment because I have a very popular app that Chris redesigned from scratch a few months ago.
I see a theme.
Yes. And believe me, I tried in the past with the banner. If you run the app on a tablet, the banner is huge. It's like an inch tall, and yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's more like a it's a necessary evil. But that's the it keeps things a bit simpler, because when you introduce subscriptions are no joke, because you at that point you need to deal with people in a very very committed way, because they need refund, they need, you have payment issues, you have people that want to talk to support because reasons, they want to cut. Ads are the easiest way, and you have a broad user base, because everybody can use your app, so everybody can have ads. This is some useful text. Okay.
I mean, no.
For tomorrow, for another day. I like it. Let's say I'm gonna iterate on the copy later, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT
Oh, I have an idea.
tomorrow. Not bad.
Tomorrow problems?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a
I'm
playful
going
act,
with
right?
with the vibe of, chill, no pressure. It's like,
Yeah.
tomorrow problem.
Yeah, I see what you're doing, Mark. The in-app purchase. I like the fact that I'm telling Mark the stuff that I'm gonna tell in my talk in
Are you
London.
spoiling
2 weeks.
everything now?
Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna take offline the problem with in-app purchase, Mark, is the brace. It's the long-term value of your users. Sebastiano, are you proud of me? I mean, it feels like I'm a product manager, like
You sounded like someone that knew what he was saying.
yeah. So the idea is that if I ask you for like $1 to remove the ads, it means that for me, in my opinion, or for the analysis that we ran, every user in their lifetime, they are worth in ads less than $1, right? Because I'm exchanging how much money you're gonna make me, like as long as are you using the app, versus how much money you are giving me today. And yes, it can be like that annual subscription. Jesus Christ. Yeah, subscription are tricky. I'm falling for the trolling. I'm falling for this. He's trolling. Now I
Easy
see
now.
yeah, I see what you're doing. He's smart, man. He's smart. He actually reeled
You
me
keep
in.
forgetting that.
Yeah,
But
he
that's
reeled
on
me in
you,
like
man.
you just keep reeling me in. Anyway, serious trolling. Yeah, the problem is, I mean, I worked with apps that had ads and subscriptions, and if you have the right user base, subscription are gonna make you rich. It depends what kind of app you have. If you want a lot of people to use your app because, well, you don't want to make money, you want to just to survive, float on the expenses, then you want a lot of users because a lot of users are gonna pay enough ads revenue for you to survive. If you want to make money and you say, okay, I don't care about a lot of people using my app, I want 10 users. Hello, Felipe. I want 10 users per month. They pay $10 per month, and that money allows me to, pay the expenses for the server. That's another business model. It depends how you want to approach your user base. It depends what kind of app you are running, right? So maybe people, for instance, I mean, if you think about Kindle Gratis is like, it's almost 10 years old. I have been running ads. This get a better UX. Okay, the cheapskates get the ads, but let the subscriber get a better UI. Yes, but the problem is that to give you a better UI, removing the ads, it increases exponentially the complexity of managing the app, because now I need to go through the, subscribers, refunds, people complaining, payments that don't go through. You have countries that have weird taxation, and then it's not easy. Now you need a way to actually manage your users. Like now you need a backend, right? Because Play Store, it's all fun and games until you get serious with this kind of stuff. So now you need a backend with every users that is paying. Then you have a grace period. Then you put trial period, and it gets exponentially more complicated. And for a project like this, that right now is just one screen. The return of investment is always something that you need to keep in mind. The problem is that time is never enough. And if you want to throw a lot of apps to the Play Store, you need to be a bit more, there are trade-offs. Trades-off are my another day list. I like it, Sebastiano, my another day list. And my another day list is nice.
I know. I was like, huh?
Okay,
Huh?
so I see that we draw like we blur the card when it's done. That's cool. And there is an edit button when it's the edit button is gonna just turn the text into an editable text.
That I wasn't
No?
sure if you wanted that to be the checkbox or an edit icon. It's just a placeholder for something.
I would
Okay.
imagine like the whole thing is tappable. I
Yeah.
prefer that. Like the
And
primary
when you
action for
tap-
me is to mark it as done. The secondary action would be to edit.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you tap the card,
It becomes
check
done.
Edit.
Okay.
It's done? Oh.
So the edit is just the icon.
Yes, I would
Okay.
imagine so. I don't know. Like to me, in a to-do list, that I am committing to a list of actions in the morning, the primary action is to mark
Get
as
the
done.
Get the
Yeah.
dopamine. Makes sense.
But I think, well, I feel like most to-do lists though, like there's usually some specific like checkbox or thing that you tap. Even if like the touch target ends up being the whole thing, there's still some visual
Right,
indicator
yeah,
that's like,
yeah.
oh, this is the
True.
done state, But maybe we're going against the grain here, so that's fine.
Yeah, I was going for something a bit different from the, every to-do app out there. Because we have the luxury to have only 3 actions. So we can say, you know what? The main thing for us is that the user only has 3 actions. We don't need to save space. We don't need to make things too compact. We can be more liberal with what we do because we have more real estate than they do.
Yeah.
That's true. This is good. Thanks.
And
Nice.
I have a couple of ideas how this could look like in landscape or on tablets.
Oh, you're trying, right?
But-
He's trying. Look at this. How would they look on foldable, Sebastian? You have like a minute to just come up with a foldable layout.
On foldable, I think what I would consider is having somewhat similar to the calculator, where you have like the main content, but you also have a way to expand to get more stuff in. So you could have the another day list. It's just a tab on the side that you tap and it brings in the list and you can drag them.
Like a okay.
And on tablet,
Well,
it would be the same probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can
Like,
do drag and drop in Compose though.
I kinda not sure if it's already
I know
there.
you can do it on desktop, but I don't know if they've implemented it in Jetpack Compose.
I don't know if it's already there.
But if they did,
yeah, that's not even a bad idea.
where's
Okay.
Roberto when you need it? Roberto, have they done it?
Well, it's
He would
probably
know.
it's
He
probably
would know.
cursing. It's probably cursing somewhere. So, guys, I'm so grateful for this episode. It was an incredible episode, and I ended
It
up
was
with
fun.
another Figma file.
Of course you did. Well, you technically haven't because I haven't given you access.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, just have to remember it or look at the stream and then implemented it.
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
gonna
stream.
implement it from the stream, like a savage.
What I was thinking about, if you don't mind, Ivan, we could share read-only, but share the link in the Telegram chat for people to take a look at it.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course. This is not mine, it's yours, and I am always gonna steal it and publish it on the Play Store.
Yeah. I think payment in beers is welcome.
Oh yeah,
See
I
you
mean,
next week.
a couple of conferences are coming. I'm paying. I know that I'm paying. Everything is fine.
I mean,
I'm
it's a
paying
business
in
expense,
stickers.
so
No, I don't think I can. I mean, yes, I can probably try to persuade my accountant, but
I
he's
don't
gonna
think
just
they
read
will
through me.
go along with it.
Yeah, they're gonna just read through me, like even just drop it. Okay, okay. So I would like to wrap up, Sebastiano, if you
Yes.
don't mind.
Yes, let's do that.
So I want to thank you if you are watching this live. Thank you for the laughs and the questions in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for the like and the subscribe. I want to remember you that you can support the stream buying our merch on our store. You can buy whatever you want. We have everything from bottles to dogs, bandanas. So that's up to you. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can connect it to your Twitch account and you can subscribe to our channel for free every month. And we will actually be able to keep sending stickers and print more stickers that we are sent. Actually, I don't have it here, but we have more stickers.
Spoilers. I know it's
Spoiler.
backwards. You're gonna find out next week what this is.
Yes, we have new stickers that we are going to give away at conferences. If you are in Turin next week and end of October, if you are in London, just look for us and you can get some cool stickers. And yeah, Chris, thank you again for bearing with my unableness. Is it English? Unableness of doing
Inability.
design. Inability, yes. Fair enough. Thanks. Because this was another great experience and another, learning experience, how things can be nicer and, easier on the eye and with a lot of nice tricks that are technical, but also more like a gut feeling kind of experience. So this is great.
Yeah, and
Um,
Seb's getting better at Figma, it seems. So that's good.
You mean I didn't spend 2 hours trying to figure out why I couldn't align things the way I wanted this time? Yeah, I'm getting marginally better at that. It's not my fault. I'm mostly on the consuming side of Figma files. I don't get to design stuff that often. So
Happy to serve, Sebastian.
Yeah.
captain or captain.
I'll
So
be in Turin also.
yes,
Yes.
I was just gonna say. So for people that are gonna be in DroidCon Italy and DroidCon London, the three of us will be there. So looking forward to seeing you there, folks. We will have, as always, swag for you. We got stickers that we printed just for this thing. So there are stickers that you're never gonna find anywhere else, probably.
Well,
I mean, as far as I know. Yeah, just come and find us. What else? Yes, that means that we're not gonna see you for 3 weeks now, but we have quite a lineup coming up in November and December. So don't worry, it's going to be a long break, but it's going to be worth it. And we are going to start when we are back with our good friend Rahul, because it's time to
Nice.
do performance stuff again. So benchmarking and perfetto and profiling and all those things that I still have no idea how they work, but it looks very interesting when someone that does explain things to me. So I'm looking forward to that.
it's one of our most popular video, and we were discussing this, and he said, well, I have so many new things that I can show. Can I? Well, I said, yeah, sure. See you in November. It was like, yeah. So
yes, indeed. Okay. folks, we'll see you in the after show if you're coming. Otherwise, see you in November or see you in person in the next couple of weeks. Bye. Have a great one.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.